Chapter 3. I'm Christopher Ambrose. Destiny.
Stay in the house.
Guya Jareth's anger was palpable, even through the phone.
If you're not recording, you need to stay home. No restaurants, no coffee shops, nothing.
I stood at the lobby of the Dryden Studios, the phone to my ear, begging like a child for permission to go out to a restaurant, a coffee shop, or something. Ever since the death threat was found in my dressing room, I had been under house arrest. Work, home, rinse, repeat. No deviations, no exceptions. I was going mad. What if I'm hungry? I was grasping at anything that could lift the stupid ban. My brother's word was law. That was the hierarchy of our family. The eldest sibling ruled over us like a parent. But that didn't mean I couldn't push back occasionally.
Darling, you can Uber Eats from any restaurant in LA County.
He took a deep breath. I could almost see him trying to gain that famous Jareth self-control.
It's just until we get you proper security, okay?
But I'm bored, I yelled. Was that the hill to die on? No. Was that the thing that would change my hyperlogical robot of a brother's mind regarding my incarceration? No. But I wanted something. Anything. Would it kill him to give in to me just once? The failures from the studio came home with me, into the silence of the beach house. Another day without a song, another day I wasn't closer to finishing an album, one day closer to being exposed for the fraud I was. The sound of the waves crashing on the sand helped a little. It really did, but it wasn't loud enough to drown out the black emptiness that took over my mind. The silence, so vast, peppered only by the pulse at my ears.
Stay in the house.
My brother bellowed. He must have been saying something and gotten no response from me. Guya! I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream.
I don't care if you're bored.
Jareth's voice was measured and calm, a certainty that he was about to rage at me at any moment.
Go home and stay home.
Please, I said in a whisper. Please, don't what? Don't keep me in my prison made of golden bars and takeout food. Don't force me to look out the floor-to-ceiling windows at California's glorious sunsets. I couldn't say it, but I hated it all. I just wanted to get out and distract myself from how miserable I was. I had worked so hard to get here, but it could all be ripped out from under me. One wrong move, and I'd be nothing. There was a sigh on the other end of the line.
I'll be back in a couple of hours. I'll take you to the jazz club down in Santa Monica, okay?
It was a concession. A small one, but it was enough. Salamat, Kuya, I said. Thank you, big brother. Sige, bye.
Bye.
I heard the click as he hung up the phone. I put my phone in my custom Yves Saint Laurent bag and hoisted the gold strap over my shoulder.
Miss Justiny?
Brian was my 60-something driver, built like a brick in a polo shirt. His white hair was in disarray as he looked at me from beneath his low silver brows. I really liked him and his white nose hairs. He was the reason for my most recent fight with Jareth, but it wasn't really his fault. He was under strict orders to not deviate from the work-home route. We'll go home, Brian, I said with a reluctant nod. I'm sorry.
No, miss.
He opened the glass front door of the building and with a sweep of his arm let me go through it first.
I just think that Mr. Barkada is right. We need to keep you safe.
Hot air hit me as soon as I stepped outside. It swirled around my ankles before it danced upwards, tossing my hair around. It was the warm air of the Santa Ana winds. Joan Didion was an author that got California. She wrote entire prose about the magic of these winds and the strange, tensed stillness that came with it. A natural annual phenomenon that filled me with unease every time the hot, dry air hit my skin. I looked up at the glass skyscraper of the Dryden Studios, vaguely wondering how such tall buildings didn't sway. It was the best studio in LA County. The entire building was set up with all the latest tech, and they put just as much money into the look of the place as the equipment inside. The Dryden name advertised old Hollywood money, and that meant they needed the newest gadgets. Artists who brought in the big bucks worked here. Artists who liked their own reflections looking back at them from the high, mirrored walls. My face stared back at me, wearing Jimmy Choos and a gold Gucci thigh-length dress. She was a doll that could carry a tune, but not much more. She had done terrible things to ensure her place in this echelon. I had stolen from other girls who had worked just as hard and probably had more talent. "Do you like me, Brian?" I asked, looking at my driver. His face softened, the wrinkles along his brow seeming to smooth out with his concern.
Of course I do, Miss Destiny.
"Could you just call me Jess?" I had always suspected that, at some point, we'd get close enough that he'd just make the transition as naturally as a work colleague turned into a friend. Still, 3 years later, it hadn't happened.
I don't think that's a good idea, Miss Destiny.
My heart sank. So maybe he wasn't that fond of me after all.
You're a lot younger than me and my boss. I can't be that informal, no matter how fond I am of you.
He tried to smile, his white caterpillar brows crawling over his eyes.
You're a young, beautiful woman, and I'm an old man. It's just not right. I wouldn't like that for my daughter.
The one old man I wanted to be close to was keeping his distance. Only the worst people wanted a piece of me, and the good wanted to keep me at arm's length. Was I a bad person in a past life? Did I do something heinous? Why am I shattering to pieces in front of the world as it looks on, criticizing how I'm not doing it gracefully enough? Everyone is watching, but no one sees me. I'm invisible in the spotlight.
Destiny!
A strange male voice cried. The paralyzing, terrible whir and click of a telephoto lens carried on the breeze.
Destiny, are you recording your next album?
A camera, a big one. I had been spotted and found. "Destiny!" Another voice, another camera, another click.
Miss Destiny?
That was Brian this time.
Take off your shirt!
Someone screamed.
What if your next album is a flop?
I was out in the open, but I felt like walls were closing in. I was being squeezed under a vice, cutting off my air. I wanted to run, to hide, and be away from noise and people.
Come on, Destiny, smile!
Miss Destiny.
Brian tried to push me back to the car without touching me.
Come on, let's get you home.
Destiny!
A body crashed into me, slamming me against Brian. He tried to catch me, but my heel snagged on the pavement. I stumbled, barely righting myself. Another body crashed into me and click, click, click. Photo after photo. It was as if the bulbs were in my head, beating like a drum, threatening to bust my skull open, cracking it like the shell of an egg. "Keep your legs closed, Jess." The voice inside my head reminded me that these fuckers wanted a picture of me compromised. If I was ever betrayed or battered, they would take a picture between my legs and sell it for $1 million. Fucking vultures.
Miss Destiny.
Brian was insistent, pushing me back like a dog barking at the heels of the sheep.
Come on now, we have to get you into the car.
Someone crashed into him, and he tripped, falling onto me as I lost my balance. I tried to regain it, but in 3 steps, I had fallen from the sidewalk onto the hot, steaming asphalt. A horn blared, tires squealed, click, click, whir, Snap!
Justiny!
No one tried to help me. It was my nightmare. I was broken on the ground. People could see me, but no one cared. The car door opened and slammed. The heel of my palms bled from where I fell.
Come on.
I blinked from my daze as warm hands picked me up from the street. I didn't know him, but he smelled like autumn. Like apples, leather, and earth. Who are you? I asked in a low whimper.
I'm Christopher Ambrose.
His voice was deep and impassive, like he hadn't just found me in the middle of traffic with cameras buzzing all around. Where's Brian?
I'm right here, Miss Justiny.
Brian came up as he ran to the side of our parked car. Christopher Ambrose picked me up bridal style. I tried to push him away. Put me down, I said weakly. The wind blew again, throwing strands of my hair in front of my eyes. I had to hold them back, tucked behind my ears so I could get a look at this Christopher Ambrose. He went to the car and Brian opened the door. The walking superhero placed me in the back as Brian got behind the steering wheel.
Get her out of here.
I wanted to get out and tell him never to yell at my driver. No one had a right to do that, not even Jareth. But Brian bowed his head and started the car, locking the doors. He pulled out into LA traffic, and that was that. Because he had been my driver for almost 3 years, he knew to put on music. Nothing with lyrics, just classical, orchestral music that could drown out the silence in my head. I don't know why his consideration made me want to cry.
It's okay, Miss Justiny.
He stared straight ahead as he took the on-ramp to the highway.
It's okay. You can cry if you want to, miss. It's just us in here.
That was all I needed. I practically broke down in the back seat, curling over my thighs and whining like a child.
That's all right, Miss Justiny. It's going to be all right.
He kept crooning the words.
That was your brother in the other car. He's gonna meet us at home real soon.
Nothing was all right. It hadn't been all right in a long, long time.
If you're interested in hearing more audiobooks, don't forget to like and subscribe to Molly Breyer.